might be saving for themselves. Of course, Nico being taken away, that has been our highest presence champion. It is, I believe, 6-0 when it's been able to hit the Rift here in playoffs. So I expect to not see Nico tonight. It's probably going to be a perma red side ban. As taking Kaisa away, Gala maybe wanting to save that one for himself later on in the series. Elk has also been damn good at that pick throughout history. But curious to see what, like, Rumble's up.
Oh, they're going to steal away
the
Poppy. So there's a possibility that this is obviously, you know, trying to get a little bit set up for on, but it is also working as a steal away from Jiejie, but it's going to be the insta rumble for IG.
That's very interesting. Of all the first picks to go for, I'm very surprised it's that one. Like, Varus is up too. Look, with Poppy in the game, I think Ezreal goes up in value, so I actually like this. Also a great deny from Elk. I think Elk has been fantastic on Ezreal so far, so I think this is as much of a pick for Gala as it is a takeaway from Elk. It's been a big pick for both of these ADs.
We're already seeing the draft shenanigans. This is what I love about the recent series about LPL is like we see teams really doing that research and stealing things away. Knight is going to be on his Ahri though, and that's lethal.
I don't like this. I feel like this opens up a pretty free Rumble angle for Rookie. I think that Rumble, or not Rumble, Ryze. I think that we're pretty happy with Ryze if you're Rookie here going into the Ahri. Like the Pop, you can find a better pairing for Ryze than what Ahri Poppy will probably end up being.
Yeah.
As I expect Ben to go for the Yorick. That's been a massive pick for him in BLG throughout their resurgence.
You're not able to get the Scion on the other side because you already got the Rumble, I guess, unless you want to go crazy for Meiko, but I doubt it.
I mean, I don't really love the Rumble versus Yorick matchup. It's winnable for Rumble. Yorick obviously overtakes later on, but for me, this is actually going to make for a pretty big mid game that BLG could set up for, with Ezreal being that security blanket, and BLG already doesn't have a lot of damage as time goes on. They're just going to rely on Ben kind of opening up the map, which has been really big for BLG. I think that it fixes a lot of their problems.
And no, you're giving a lot of tools. Yeah, you're getting a lot of tools over to Ben to have that side lane pressure and make plays. That pincer maneuver I was talking about, I really want to keep an eye on that for BLG. The Ante's huge, though. The Ante's just risen in priority. It is a monster engager with the Tibbers.
Probably a Wukong ban now coming out from BLG. IG have shown they're willing to play Lee Sin, but of course Poppy's showing, so there's no way we're going to pick Lee Sin here. I say that. It's IG. They might still slam it. I would like to see a Varus ban as well. It's been a nice pick for Elk, and I think that when looking at BLG, what they're showing so far, they have to play fast for me. Like, Yorick is kind of that late game security blanket where maybe it can have better conditions in the map. But Varus could really help explode this game. You're showing 3 squishies off the bat, so I think you have to take Varus away.
All right,
Skarner.
Yeah, that lane is so interesting, and they are going to go with that Skarner ban to try to take away that setup. You really love it with the kind of equalizer setup that TheShy is going to be cooking there. So
I guess
just trying to take away that.
There's like enough damage for taking away a tankier jungler. I think it's valid.
Yeah.
But I'm used to seeing Annie paired with carry junglers. Like, Annie powers you through the early to mid game and get kills, and hopefully like that jungler like Wukong has been a really good pairing for Annie. Like, later on, Wukong can take over the game, right? So,
you know what's crazy?
No Varus ban still.
And no Vi and Zhao focus whatsoever.
Yeah, but Poppy was first pick, so those two champs get instantly deprioritized. Yeah.
Very interesting, though, because, I mean, that saves it for later games in the series itself. The Elise is going to be that final ban, though.
Talking about Varus. Varus was first ban. I'm trolling.
You meant Vi.
Over there. No. You know, my angle, this is like blocking Varus for me. I'm trying to... that's my fault. That's my fault from the setup, you know? I'm coping here. Karma, take it away. I like that ban. What's Elk going to go for? Is it like a Jhin pick? And then you look for picks on squishies? I think that could be quite good, actually.
What is the non-zero chance that Meiko is playing Rumble? 3%?
No, I mean, you'd have to pick jungle here and then flex it. I think that if they pick bad support, it's possible. But, of course, it's Meiko. He has really been playing a lot of Alistar. Yep. And he doesn't give a flying crap that a Poppy's showing. He's still picking that cow.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty dominant in itself. But also just gives him a lot of leeway in how he can take those engages and things along those lines. It's also, you know, in a 10-plus year career, his most played champions. You know, take that with what you will. We'll see what BLG want to lock in for the AD.
This is a good angle. I love, like, I think Jhin the Fury is very valuable here. I know Beichuan hasn't played a lot of the Fury. I love how the pets help proc the Deadly Flourish. And there's not, like, for me, there's not a lot that can actually... It's going to be Poppy.
So it is going to be the jungle, okay.
Yeah, I think you can play Poppy support into the cow, but just take the Rel. Expecting a tankier pick here for Jiejie. I still really like Wukong. I know Wukong and a Poppy can be a little bit funky,
Wukong's
but
pretty nuts, though.
yeah, I mean, Wukong scales really well, but you pair with Annie great. You feed into the Wombo combo with Meiko, and you just get the knock-up city going. There's a lot of conditional CC that Zed can get out of. Wow, okay.
It just says lock
We're
it
throwing
in,
down.
bro.
Yo, I like Zed this game.
Exactly. You said you wanted something carry performance. You wanted
I mean,
to pair that Annie up.
Yeah, I think like this is something where you have Annie to set up for the Zed, but think of the CC that BLG has. If Zed, you can wait out Rel. Rel's a pain in the butt, but still, like, your shadows give you a way to play out of that. The shadows are not impacted by Poppy. Zed versus Ahri, like, that's kind of a skill/playable matchup. It's really on Knight to land the charm. Of course, Knight's Ahri is fantastic, but there's... Meiko has to be the solo tank this game. I think there are a lot of tools for BLG to really slow down IG's comp, and for me, IG have to really survive that early to mid game to actually get Zed late. I know Zed can clear really fast, you can play fast, but Zed actually, for me, needs like 2 items to then be like a fantastic jungler later on in the game. I know it seems weird, but if you go for the ability haste build, which I expect to see, that's really how Zed plays out. You need to get like 2+ items, so I think that IG are going to utilize their strong solos to actually get Jiejie scaling and go from there.
And that's so interesting to see them lean into that, because one of the weaker points we feel is Beichuan versus Jiejie in that way, where Beichuan is really a facilitator to try to figure out how to make the rest of the maps work, how to make Knight and Bin really function between them, and it's worked to success since Beichuan has come in. But now's the time to pull everything out. Now's the time where this is your last series potentially. You either have the beauty of making it to MSI and contending for a title, or you are done until split number 3. And for both these teams, the weight couldn't be heavier. IG, they have not made it back to a finals in 6 years almost. Where BLG, they finished in round 3 of the playoffs in split number 1, and they haven't reached that precipice we know them for since their back-to-back title run in the LPL. This is a banger, and everybody needs to get locked in and ready to go. We're off to Beijing, and we're off for IG versus BLG.
All right, Mazel, let's dive on in. This is going to be a fun series. I really hope this one delivers for everyone back at home, too. As, man, if you're a fan of League of Legends, how can you not like the lineup that we have tonight? As, oh boy, Solo Q says that BLG's comp is much better.
I'm glad we can get that.
I think the big game changer here for me is going to be that Jhin pick for Elk. For me, the Zed, the job of that is to actually really get on this Jhin and punish it. I do think that, like, with the Annie, Rumble, and Zed over the top, that's a good way to guarantee a kill. I do think that a lot of people at home, like, they don't realize this new Zed build and what it can do in the mid-game fights. Like, you're getting out the double, the triple E's, the double Qs. You can do a lot of damage with your shadows and how you play around that in those mid-game fights. You are given the space to function. Again, a lot of conditional CC that Zed can play out of, so I'm going to have to see if it's on the hands of Jiejie to really get rolling and make things happen.
It's just a team diff, I guess. You know, the leash in 2025. Try to get Poppy off the ground a little bit. Try to get Beichuan up towards this top side. See if they can get anything going up there. This 2v2 is going to be really important, though, to keep an eye on. Both junglers going to be pathing away from this side of the map, so any advantage will really stick.
Do you think it's worth noting diving in? I know before we get too into this game, just it's like so the champ picks, right, with draft. That Ezreal for Elk throughout the entire split, he's 9 or 10-2 on it, I believe. So like that for me, that's a really big deny pick, as well as the Ezreal like for Gala. It has been 3-0 with a 43 KDA throughout these playoffs, and his most throughout the split as well. I find that really interesting. Of course, Meiko getting his hands on Alistar. Like, I think a lot of the times with Fearless, sometimes you have to be okay signing up. Hey, we're gonna give some champs up, but we really want to play some champs. I do feel like IG, they have picked up like a lot of champs they really wanted to play in that bot lane, in this Rumble for TheShy. Jiejie is doing what he wants to do. That's fine. And I think the BLG got a little bit of the same. Like, Knight's on his Ahri. Bit of a takeaway from Rookie. Bin Yorick has been massive for him this split. So I do find it interesting that even after the Poppy first pick, still a lot of teams able to find comfort here in Game 1.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. You saw there in a little pop-up, I believe that was 300 games played now for Beichuan. Obviously spending a lot of that time on TT for almost 3 years. It's been one of the biggest stories for BLG in their rise to the top here and trying to make that run for another finals appearance. Beichuan when he got joined to the team, all of a sudden it just felt like they were back to themselves.
Yeah, they just needed a new jungler to punish, you know? That's
Apparently.
apparently.
Oh, the bot lane 2v2 is kicking off a little bit more. Force shot's going to be available for Elk.
No Ignite for On, though. I actually think that IG is in a decent shape here, as Gala throws back a really nice trade.
No mana for Elk either.
Yeah, yeah, and no Ignite for On. He burned that early. They had the 3-2 advantage. They thought that was it.
Oh, they want
off. I think
the flash.
Yeah, he's dead.
Instantly retreated too. Jiejie going to come around if he can get the lead. One more auto, the turret, the shot, and that's first blood for IG.
Bin too far up. Beichuan spotted Jiejie and then dropped that top crab. Of course, Bin's wave was in a tough spot. Shout out to TheShy for keeping it there. In this matchup, again, I think holding the wave there really opened up Jiejie to find a first kill. We talked about the Zed, right? Finding those 2 items. Really big, really significant. He's able to do that. Calculator from Rookie. He's got the TP, so he's going to get back. Honestly, not that bad, as the wave's pretty even. Like, he's not going to lose a lot.
Oh, that's a greedy back.
Hold on.
Oh. Elk gonna sidestep the Mystic Shot.
The lane so far, it's advantage IG, and Jiejie has a kill. I mean, this is a great start for them, Mazel.
And it's a great start for that momentum that we were talking about from that last series. You got to remember, they just came off that pretty clean 3-0, and now trying to keep that going into one of the top contenders in this split 2, though now we might have cast or cursed them. Flash is going to come out from both supports. Gala is going to be out of there, and Meiko showing he's got those hands even 10 years into his career.
Beichuan's camps behind now. Like, Jiejie hits 5. I think they can get that bot wave push in. Just kind of curious to see what the first look or the next look for Jiejie is going to be. And there could be a world here where if he's able to get a camp away from Beichuan, maybe, he can hit that early 6 and like look to attack Bin again. Because Bin, of course, is flashless. If you can't see Meiko making his way up here, I'd love a 3-man. If TheShy is able to manage this wave and kind of force Bin to stay here, I really think they're going to look for the 3-man top. And if Bin doesn't have 6, which he's a wave away from getting, I really like this look again for IG. It looks like that's the play. They will spot Meiko.
Find it. They know Bin. He doesn't have any exit tools. Does have the nice little wall, but I don't think it's going to be nearly enough. Doesn't have another shuriken to throw in there.
Okay. That's okay, though. I mean, they still are able to kind of put Bin in an awkward position. Like, that wave is frozen. Meiko's up here to play bodyguard. I don't think that On and Beichuan can make anything happen. So, TheShy now with 6. Okay, he actually decided to push this one back out. He has got 3 creeps that wave's going to push back towards him.
Oh,
okay, we're just going to die for this.
Oh, no.
That's cool.
All right. Well,
all right.
Everything's cool.
I mean,
a little bit of a gold back to Bin.
Well, what else could we expect? It's TheShy versus Bin, you know? I feel like that's what everyone signed up for coming into the night. when TheShy does it...
might have put good plays in there somewhere, but look, yeah, I agree.
These are the 2 top laners where when they do that, it's not an HR violation. They get away with it, all right? they got the face card. It's fine.
Let's look at this, though. They're looking for a dive.
We take the good with the bad.
Oh, Rookie's got Tibbers, and unfortunately, one of Jin's most hated animals is a grizzly bear. We'll see if they actually do get this crash in time. Beichuan is right there, but is it going to be enough to save him? Tibbers comes down, so much damn damage, and Gala will get the kill in the end. Rookie takes a turret shot, loses almost 3/4 of his health from that one, but they do get the gank off.
Gala almost took one more turret shot. Didn't flash it. It was tracking on him. Well played by Gala. Really understanding his range well there on the Ezreal. They are able to get the kill over to him. And overall, still think that's a decent win here. For IG, they're going to hit the insta-back button. Try and go fix these lanes and waves. Is Rookie going bot? Curious to me. I do think that if Knight sticks around here, he has ult. There is a real window where BLG could look to try and sneak this dragon away.
I would really like that, just to try to get some of this stacking going. We're already almost to the grub spawn as well, and that changes the map setup a little bit here. As we do see, we have those kind of redeploys out in the different lanes. We have bot lane kind of going to mid to provide that pressure to either side for the neutrals. I'm wondering if we do get that trade, but who do you really value at level 6 here?
Starting with the Grub's point, I do think that Grub's a little bit more valuable for BLG, just given that later on, Yorick, Ahri in the side lane should be better. Like the Rumble Annie can make a lot of plays in team fights and plays now. But later on, Ahri, Yorick can be much more self-sufficient in the side lane. So I feel like Grub's more of a deny than a win if you're IG. In terms of 6, I mean, I'm going to take the Annie Rumble, but Rookie needs his ult back if you want to make plays happen.
Yeah, not going to have it anytime soon for that one. And we'll see Beichuan get a little bit of control over this grub
The
side of
Maiden's
things. We
up.
see the pings coming out from Jiejie. He's going to look to go towards the dragon stack.
Could be a trade. Yeah, this is I think this is a nice win for BLG.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a trade on paper, but overall,
Oh, look
good
at those
sidestep,
side
Meiko.
steps. Although Deadly Flourish will not let him go. He is
okay.
going to try to be tanky. They get the kill back on, and Meiko goes back in. Knight is in
Meiko!
trouble now, going to flash away. Gala is stepping up and stepping in. The Mystic Shot's going to rain, and that's a double kill for Jiejie. 3-0 for the Zed to start the game for IG.
This is really greedy from BLG. If I'm Beichuan, I'm like, team, like, what's going on? I'm on the grubs. This is free. We're signing up for the trade. What happens? We have an attempt on the play on the other side of the map. IG, with their jungler, with numbers, able to turn it. As some of the greed of BLG punished there.
A lot of the greed there, and it's going to pay dividends to IG. Almost
no objective.
1,500 gold lead.
They did prevent the objective trade, but that's an expensive one. Like, you hit 2 more kills over onto the Zed. Good hands from Meiko. Second time in a row we've seen him use the heal and terrain to actually find a dodge. And then, yeah, he doesn't have 6, but everything burned into the Aftershock Alistar. They can't get him down.
Tough.
Great headbutt away from Meiko, understanding there's no way that Ahri with no ult charges can get back in. Love the ult, too, from Knight, or Gala, because Knight's dead on my screen. So really well played by IG. And I do like the objective went over. I don't know if they can actually fight this dragon, but man, we're talking about that Zed as a win con. You're sitting at a 10-minute eclipse. You're a terror on the map. So Jiejie with the next ult, he's gonna make some big plays. Somehow he's down a level to Beichuan, who did get the grubs. That will be fixed with the next camp.
It's fine when you get the first item, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
you have eclipse already completed. It. You could just press up anywhere you want. And yes, dragon didn't get taken, but now you have fight strength.
What I also like about this one from Jiejie, I mean, he's got options. He could go Serpent second, which does lead to be that more of the Thality build. Also, I don't think you need to go Cleaver this game. Just go Spear Shojin. I know Cleaver nice against the Yorick and the Poppy, but you don't have any other 80 damage really boosting. It's only an Ezreal, so I'd much rather go for the Shojin and pick up those stats. Feel good there. So, again,
shout out to Meiko, by the way. You know? Anytime he thinks about giving up, you just don't. And he didn't give up there. He had like 100 health and didn't even have ulti. Still walked back in.
You always have the option to quit. Meiko has never quit. That's, he might have read David Goggins, you know.
Okay, I like that throwback. Although TheShy maybe didn't read it. He's actually going to flash out. Dodging out of the shots, too. TheShy. He gets blocked by Meiko. We just talked about him. TheShy will go down in the end anyways. On will tank the turret, and now they'll move back to this tier 1.
Gala going to drop another True Shot Barrage. Maybe gets on.
Oh, the crash
dismount.
down shield.
Oh, really big. We're fighting for first brick right now. Important that BLG able to secure this. They did not secure the first 3 kills, so if IG can protect this, again, open up that feat. Does seem like it's going to come down to the objectives, though, because that tower really low. And if I'm BLG, I'm probably sending Yorick bot and trying to overload this side again.
Pressing over, try to stop some of the backs potentially. Are going to force Bin to stay just so they don't give over too much free real estate over to Rookie. And Meiko's still up here. Jiejie moving over. He's looking for a 4th kill here. Tibber's got popped. Bin going to flash. Rookie almost dies. Does die. In the end, Ben gets the better of him, and now Knight is coming in to finish the job. The golden left hand takes the grip and throws it right at IG's face. That's going to be a big pick from him, and he's going to get himself on the board.
I mean, that's a great wall placement from Bin, and IG punished for trying to make that play too fast. Again, they're really trying to protect that first brick from going down. I think that was, I mean, for sure an overinvestment there. As BLG are going to answer back, they do take that tower with the overload, and Bin insta TP down. He still has the Maiden, and TheShy's in trouble.
Oh my god, TheShy's just losing this fight. The Maiden will truly find the difference. And Bin with a solo bolo against the old guard.
Yeah, of course, Bin, you know, he said after when he took down Top Esports too and was like frauds down as cocky Bin's kind of back. And oh man,
that's the bit I like.
Yeah, again, 99%. Did see that True Shot Barrage there was a ward in mid that did help On see that one coming. Really good dismount. Look at this wall, though, from Bin. Rookie decides to go. You can see Jiejie kind of clicking back and forth to see whether he wants to go in or not. Rookie made the call, was stuck, ends up going down. Jiejie does have the flash, or sorry, the ult up. along with his flash. Doesn't use either to get out of the charm and goes down as Knight snipes him with that one.
That's really tough to see, actually, in a crucial series. If you could start with a leg up here against BLG, it'd be really nice. But now that lead has fully swapped over to BLG's side of things. And their comp looks really good in this mid game. And
look, because they set this Rumble behind, TheShy is just going to be the target in the side lane. It's going to be really tough to manage for IG as Rumble. And the best thing to do in some of these scenarios is just going to be burning that equalizer to kill the wave and delay the tempo of BLG, because there's no way he can test Bin. And man, Bin, I think what makes Bin so good on Yorick, his ability to control the Maiden. There are a lot of times, like if you E in or press R again, you just commit the Maiden to that lane. Or commit him to a target. I think that he chooses the right time to go all in with the Maiden. Like right now, he's going to burn the Maiden's health because he's trying to set up the dive for TheShy, which looks good right now.
There's 5-man play on TheShy. It's no longer a solo bolo. It's a full 5-man, and BLG strike again.
IG not fast enough to play out the next two. And again, with the grubs, how quickly BLG is able to make these plays around their solo lanes that have been more self-sufficient as we've broken out on the map. It's been a really good look for them.
It has indeed, and I think Ben has been a good look for BLG. Even in their loss in the upper bracket, he was the one that got the double MVP in their wins, and still having some monumental performances across that best of 5, but also throughout these playoffs. Still showing that he's got what it takes, and now his Yorick absolutely taking a hold of this game number 1. And see if they can continue propelling that forward. About 2,000 gold up for BLG. 10 seconds till the Rift Herald spots.
Dragon coming up on the map too. I think taking inventory right now, it's kind of tricky because I do like IG's ability to wombo on carries. They have a lot of ability to go over the top. It's just, can they deal with Yorick if Bin decides to join a fight? That's a question. That, man, look at the gold Bin has in his pockets, the items he has in his inventory. I don't think they can. So that's, it almost feels like they need more damage to get through this Yorick, and they just don't have it right now. So I think there's a real choice for IG. Do you want to wombo the front line and maybe try and take down that Yorick? As, you know, Elk and Knight are sitting in decent standing right now, but they're not the ones that are ahead in this game. Like, do you try and remove the Yorick first and then let your backline access with a Zed take over later on? Or do you just use it right away, like what the comp wants to do, which is backline access from Annie, Rumble, Zed? I think it's a real choice for IG. Props IG. They've done a nice job with this setup, so they have full control right now.
Oh? Okay, Beichuan might be in a lot of trouble here. He is going to use that steadfast presence. Rookie was waiting for an entrance with his Tibbers. That is the flash out of Meiko, though, so that's a big one down.
Bin has TP.
Preemptive setup for IG.
Yeah, Bin's going to get bot lane prio here. I feel like this is one, like, if BLG can stall out this wave, then they're going to have bot lane prio and can have another way to access this dragon. Because, again, Bin just shoveling away at the lane. And, yeah, IG, they don't want to delay any longer. They realize they have to go now.
They have to burn it. There's the Keeper's Verdict. He's going to set it up. Nice engage from On. Dragon does go to Jiejie, though. Beichuan engaged on with the Death Mark there. He's going to tank it up. Knight going to try to find something, but gets stunned up by Rookie. Perfect timing. TheShy in some trouble now, though. Getting chased down by Bin. Jiejie, you do not want that smoke, bro. You got to get out of there, as Bin is a monster with a shovel. And BLG, even if they lost the Dragon, they're going to get engaged on in mid. And Elk is gone. That play we talked about, it finally comes alive. And the True Shot Barrage helps get a double kill for Rookie.
That's a huge mistake from BLG. They were split on the exit. The fight continues. IG is still in great shape.
They are. Beichuan tanking up a storm. Gala's going to be forced to flash away, but now Beichuan by himself will flash himself too, as his phase rush communicates with the rest of the team and meets back up.
I really like how IG played out this Dragon. They got full control over the river. They hit it on the wave where they were going to lose bot priority with the right time. Then their exit, they exited together. Yes, it was TheShy being headed off, but he got enough info to actually spot Bin, spot members of BLG. BLG trying to hit that mid-outer turret was very greedy with the ultimate still available for IG, and they punish.
They do indeed. We have to take a look at this. Meiko with his flash.
Look how split BLG is. Like, look at where they're at in the minimap. And IG, again, they're like, hey, we know that we have a 2v3 right now, because they had all the river control. TheShy saw multiple people chasing him out along with Jiejie. So the fact they were able to see those members, take inventory of the fight, know that On was low, be like, hey, we have our buttons, let's pull the trigger now. That's a really, really nice call from IG.
And they need those kinds of calls. I think it's so funny when we were coming into the split playoffs here. Both teams on their kind of keys to victory had clutching it up. in some way, shape, or form. And I think that is going to be the bread and butter of this series. Who shows up when, how we see these clutch plays come out. And little plays like that is just a foreshadowing of what and how quickly the leads and the momentum can shift inside of a game, but let alone the series itself.
Oh, I think that's what makes the series so fun on paper, right?
Absolutely.
The old guard versus the new guard. Can the old guard really show up? As sadly, the TheShy showing up in a way where we've kind of been used to seeing, which is TheShy having, a classic TheShy game. It's okay. See? He was useful in the last fight. He's getting CS.
He did his research, his new age research on Ben, and realized Ben is actually good at Rumble now. So he's like, I'll just take it away.
I mean, the TheShy Rumble, hey, really nice ult in the last fight. Still really like how he played it. He has been the focus. I don't think the first death was definitely on him. The rest will kind of give over to BLG, putting a lot of numbers in its lane. But
look at the boots, by the way. They're all matching except for Elk, at least for BLG. The 4 Merc treads.
I mean, valid.
Very valuable this game.
Yeah, valid going into the Annie and the Rumble. They're gonna need it. As I mean,
second item now.
We'll say, I still really feel like, as this game goes on, I think we've really set up how the solos are going to play. We haven't really set up how Gala on the Ezreal can play. Because, I think the insta-poppy slam, realizing you're going up against Elk, BLG have been really good Ezreal users, along with IG. I really like the takeaway here. I think that the Kaisa ban makes a lot of sense, too. They're going to try and, make sure they get that matchup out, because it's another champion that Gala really wants to play. And Gala has done a really good job of just making sure that he's getting resources. Like, the CS numbers so far for IG, we've seen BLG put a lot of numbers in one lane. We saw them overload the first few turrets. Rookie and Gala were the benefactors with the focus of TheShy.
Yeah.
And, man, like, if you have a big Ezreal, you have a big Zed, I really feel like even with TheShy being focused down so hard, he's still kind of in a way doing his job as goodbye on.
Just is non-existent. Oh my goodness, Rookie. Dude, he is setting up the play. Yes, you have the punch coming from Jiejie, but these tibbers, these stuns from Rookie, this is the kind of performance where he can finally put down that doubt we saw in the head-to-head matchup between him and Knight.
I mean, Rookie has been fantastic on this run. Both mid-lane champions in this game, ones that Rookie have really popped off on throughout, but the moment, 45. They're going to get Bin's TP as the Otacon is started. Meiko playing bodyguard. Good sidestep from him.
Nowhere near. Keeper's Verdict going through. They're going to get Jiejie, but he gets the smite in. The Keeper's Verdict didn't go through, and that's an excellent equalizer. Beichuan left out in the wings, but he is down and out. There's the curtain call. Going to get the kill back onto the TheShy. Bin, though he's working, he's in trouble because Gala is still strong, and so is Jiejie. They get the CC chain. The charm going to hit, though, onto Meiko. He's in trouble now. He will back away. He's burning, but he's fine. IG take the fight, and they get back that big lead.
Again, I love how IG is playing out these fights. Like, I think how they controlled the terrain there was fantastic. Beichuan never got a Keeper's Verdict off as Meiko was playing bodyguard, found the combo onto the Poppy, and the re-engage on the back half. TheShy, yes, he goes down, but as you called out, Mazel, that equalizer was brilliant. Connecting on the first, or Beichuan, who was engaged upon, as well as stopping the carries from walking through the choke. As we have both monster objectives and a soul point now going over to IG.
That's crazy.
It may not show in the gold graph, but it really feels like IG's in control of this game.
Rookie almost just hundreds to zeros. Knight forced to flash. There's the true shot barrage across. Nothing else is going. Tibbers. The burn. He got him. No way. What is going on my screen? Rookie has just gone Super Saiyan on a little girl with a bear.
BLG are not playing connected. And IG, on the flip side, have been playing very connected with how they're playing and setting up these objectives. I think that Meiko versus On, this is one of the matchups we actually were really questioning coming in, as On has been having a much better playoff run than Meiko so far. But we're talking about if TheShy and Rookie can turn the clocks back. How about Meiko, man? He's been fantastic this game.
Dude, he showed his hands, he showed his mechanics, and it was a series where, like, obviously Meiko is like a GOAT support, but On has been that new age support that everybody looks to across in the LPL, and I think it's really interesting to see how much of a level up Meiko is having in this series. And Rookie, man, I cannot stop praising this man. He is a devastating piece to the puzzle on this Annie, and he has constantly found so much luck now. He is literally 1v3 in this situation. It gets multiple.
Someone do not show LS this game, because I think he's going to lose his mind over BLG trying to take mid-outer twice and failing. As mid-outer has really baited BLG into two pretty poor positions. I think the first one was very poor. The second one, definitely Rookie finding the play. Now we'll see if he can escape the cage. If they want to continue the play on the bin, he still has his turret to retreat to, so will not be the case. But Jiejie up here to support. He has a Black Cleaver on the Zed, and definitely going to help him try and get through that front line, buff up the Ezreal just a little bit. Again, I thought it'd be a Shojin next, given how good that item is on the Zed, but still Cleaver gives you a lot of good stats that you want on this ability haste version of the champion that, again, like as Zed gets items, I cannot emphasize enough, like for the fans at home that are used to seeing Zed, the one-shot Zed versus this build, how effective Zed is throughout elongated team fights. If he can get multiple shadows down, he's really impactful and effective in these scenarios. So I feel like it was a really good pick for Jiejie in this scenario. He's going to have a lot of options to play this game out later on in the game, and can have to see if he can execute, because so far, we didn't talk too much about the jungle matchup early on, Mazel, but the two different styles clashing in game one has been Jiejie getting the best of Beichuan.
And it's just starting off with a Zed, right? Like, you have so many avenues to move forward into this series with a Zed, right? As your first pick. You're not going with some tank. You're not going for some facilitator. You can always change into that, and I think that's really, really powerful. But we are on second items now for multiple members. We have Dragon in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. You have to start looking at what these next spikes look like for BLG and if they can stop this Mountain Soul. Because if you give Annie a Mountain Soul, if you give Zed a Mountain Soul, if you get Ezreal a Mountain Soul, this is over, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that the way that BLG, like, their ability to play 3 lanes has been really hampered by on? Okay.
He's caught.
I don't think that's a chunk you can take before Baron spawns.
Oh, Meiko neither.
Okay.
He's already popped the Unbreakable.
That's an ult out. He's going to have it for the Dragon, and it's full Baron control going over to IG, so I still feel like it's very worth
Look at
for them.
Rookie,
Look at
Rookie,
Rookie,
look at Rookie. Flash play! Oh, God!
Goodbye.
I told you, Grizzly Bears, they're about 1,000 pounds.
I mean,
Jins hate that.
Annie on this patch is still quite filthy, Mazel. Rookie definitely showing it. As, again, I know that Ari, really big pick for both of our mid laners here, but I don't love it being blinded. I think that picks like Rise, like Annie, really good into it, and Rookie has for sure taken advantage of that, and BLG being split in this game one.
Oh my god.
As BLG admitting defeat, it's been trading out an inhibitor for the Baron, as IG going to clean this one up uncontested.
The inhibitor is actually a pretty massive deal there for him, because again, Bin's saving grace is this side lane, really trying to be unanswerable there. There's going to be some pings, though, for BLG, as the timer is in their favor for this Dragon to set up preemptively, but they are going to get those backs off first. Now, actually, both teams going to have a little bit of an effort here.
It still takes one more wave for the empowered creeps to actually get going, so it should be bot prio for IG, and they're baroned up. I don't really see a way that BLG beats this. Again, I'm trying to take a look at summoner spells. Thank you, LPL production staff. Rookie no flash. I feel like that's really where On needs to look and punish. I think one of the big things this game, because of the control, IG getting these objectives first, Annie has always had the jump on BLG. What if they can have a fight where BLG has the jump on Annie? I think Rookie being down flash could be really important if you want any hope of denying this soul.
IG, they are completely caught here. Gala is going to make it out with that cleanse.
Yeah,
3-man crash down from On as they get this big curtain call on the back of it. Knight's looking for resets. Is trying to find Rookie, but the damage is enough. Now Tibbers is cooking in the middle of all of this. IG with Gala shooting his shots. Finds the picks, and TheShy at 0-5. It does not matter. He still finds the difference maker, and he'll find potentially 3 kills with the help of Meiko.
That's Mountain Soul, and I think that's game one, Mazel. As IG, I think looking through this game, their ability to control terrain around objectives was the big difference for me in this one. Every Dragon setup, the Otacon setup we saw, yes, it was a numbers advantage, but their ability to ensure that Rookie got the jump, and then BLG's overextensions by playing a few of these turrets definitely walked into a few of these fights split up against an Annie. These snap engages from Rookie have been fantastic. IG, this game has looked fantastic, and they're looking to put the finishing touches on this one.
Yeah, about 5, a little bit hovering below a 5,000 gold lead, but it has been a couple things in reality. I mean, Rookie's combinations with Jiejie, you were talking about the togetherness that BLG weren't playing with. IG have that in spades as we take a look at this replay.
Yeah, Gala reacted to that really well. I like the engage from On and Knight. Again, I think that you have to get Rookie if you want to win this one out. Just too much damage. And Gala, again, that Ezreal being picked up so early, a pick so big for each of our teams. Gala was really had free reign of the backline because, yes, it was keeping them all busy on BLG's backline. It was TheShy, who is a sneaky level 16. And sneakily, he was able to pick up a double kill.
Was 0-5, by the way.
He's level 16, man. You're playing top lane.
Exactly.
Your team got fed. It's okay. And it's TheShy.
I gotta say, look at that damage. I'm gonna say the Malignance for Rookie did a ton of that damage because it was cooking people underneath. But
also
man, almost 6,000 damage from TheShy.
Also, that's just Rumble as a champ. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, you can play well on red side. I know coming into this one, Meiko said in an interview, shout out to Kelsey Moser for this, that their coach just tells them we can play well on red side too. Because like, everyone knows the blue side.
Beichuan. That keeper's verdict ain't gonna save you today. He tries to get out with that charge onto Meiko, but he knows what's coming for him, and it's a shot to the dome by Gala. As we look for the finishing touches here, and that's somebody I was gonna lean into after we ended up getting to those tussles because we talked so much about Rookie and Jiejie, their combination. But Gala, he's untouched. He's unkilled. He took this Ezreal, and he has been popping shots. As soon as he got those 2 items, you could just see the intensity level up for Gala.
I mean, no complaints here for IG. I really feel like they've ran circles around BLG in this game 1. Definitely not something that we were expecting coming into this series, Mazel.
Blue side dominance is over. Let's go.
We'll have to see, as Knight did burn the flash, but
does no
Gala's
damage
up
to Gala.
3 levels on him.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. Like, this is one of the VODs I'd love to like go back over, because I know the BLG were making so many flashy plays early with overloading and finding TheShy, but like, was it worth it or not? Because looking back, I think hindsight 2020 definitely wasn't, but I'm curious kind of like where that broke, just because IG, they're so favored now in levels. Obviously, Otacon helps a lot with that, but
it's a 2-level lead in jungle, though.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, it's just level leads everywhere.
It's actually just the way they've played the game, and I think that's got to say a lot against BLG, who you have to remember the track record getting here. I mean, IG are the ones that are coming off of victory and finding like a very dominant win over W. BLG, they lost a heartbreaker, and they had a little bit of time, obviously, to recoup and get back into things here in this lower bracket. But maybe seeing a little bit of that rust, some of the communication issues bubble into the surface here, and see if they can kind of clean those up.
This didn't play together, man. I don't know. I'll say it. Like the objective setup.
Sub in another jungler.
The objective setup's just better for IG.
Just go pick somebody off the street. Maybe they'll.
Yeah, no jungle subs available this time around. I do think that Beichuan did get outperformed by Jiejie quite a bit. So
yeah, I agree.
I don't like the keeper's verdicts for me were probably like you can look at this game and be like, oh, like Beichuan couldn't do much, but I think the keeper's verdicts were actually really poor. Like you watch LCK play Poppy, and their ability to play that like around objectives makes Poppy look like one of the most disgusting Thanos champions on the planet.
It does.
And this game, we just did not see that same impact from Beichuan, who is 5-0 on the pick, to be fair. So I think it was actually a decent pick. Definitely dissuades some of these carry champs from Jiejie, but his ability to find this one later on in drafts, and I thought it was a great scenario for Zed. And
it was.
You keep the availability for a Wukong, a champ that I think has a lot more games and conditions where that can be played and can be good. That's still open later on. So I do love, like with Fearwitz, sometimes finding these really niche champions in good windows. Like we saw that with Vlad into Aurora in Split 1. I think it's really valid because it definitely opens up your pool later on.
That's the little mini meta that I'm so excited to see these two teams pick apart, because this is do or die. This is the moment you've had plans, you've had things. You ain't saving them any longer. You need to make it to finals. You want to make it to MSI. This is maybe even bigger for these organizations than maybe even a grand finals win would be, just to make it back to that international. And I think it's really important to focus on the fact that IG have consistently leveled up, and we've seen those level ups live as they've made this run through the lower bracket. One of the most played games teams, at least in the way I said that, in the playoffs here. And tonight, you know, depending if they play the 3, they will be the team that has played the most games in the playoffs.
Maybe that experience helping them turn back the clocks. I mean, it's not like IG were far away all split. It's just kind of like, probably at times this team where, you know, they're IG. They make plays for better or worse, and so, oh, hold on. Okay,
Rookie wants the better. Rookie saw in the VODs that we showed that clip of him getting bodied by Knight, and he decides that he wants to take him out, even if it costs his life. As BLG are running for the hills, their base in tatters, as the Inhib and turret in top side will end up falling. That'll be all 3 inhibs taken down. And Gala going to look to put the final touches on these Nexus turrets. Meiko banking on the survivability that he has as it's going a little bit far forward. Jiejie getting picked there under the turret because there's still 1 turret left. The GA is available for Gala. They can keep the pressure up if they want to. They actually didn't end up taking that 3rd inhib in top lane.
Well,
so they won't get the doubles, but Elder is there.
And Rookie does have TP, but it's still going to be a 4v5 with no smite, as IG a little bit split there. They're going to have to rely on the many cannon waves they have coming in, or super minion waves they have coming in.
They got it. You know, it's all part of the plan.
I don't know.
Oh,
I think IG has to buy
TPs.
time. Oh, they're just going to
They want to win the game. They just want to win the game. They
Go
just
IG.
win the game. Oh, no. They're trying to back. Not like this. They don't have a minion wave.
You can say, well, they're trying to buy time. I think they really want Jiejie to do this objective. As you can see, TheShy's watching the dragon. Rookie's protecting Gala. Meiko as well. So they've kind of drawn this line of vision that BLG can't break.
I kind of love it.
In a way, I mean, this did just net them complete Elder Dragon control while Jiejie was dead. So, like, they forced the resets out of BLG. I think that's a big win because, of course, if BLG were able to get on this one 5v4, that could be one of the ways they can actually get back into this game. But wasn't the case. Is Rookie going to hide?
Oh, my God. Just catches on straight up. Not going to be the one you want. Knight goes for him. Misses the charm. It hits onto the chicken. And Knight immediately gets flashed on by TheShy, who is just cooking. He finds the double kill there in the end. And Jiejie cleans up the rest of them. Bin going to run away. And Elk as well. But the super minions, they've already gotten the plan. The missive has been sent. And they are already on the Nexus. That is game number 1 whole-handedly to Invictus Gaming, turning back the tides, turning back the clocks, and the Rookie to Internationals campaign will start strong here tonight. Game 1 of this best of 5 to IG.
Man, that was the best 05 Rumble I've seen. As TheShy, you know, a lot of people might have been calling him TheShy after the start, but I think that he looked like the god at the end of that one, as he made sure to lay down that damage on the Rumble. And IG, I was really, really impressed with that game. Again, we said coming in, Mazel, that we felt like the solo lanes are, you know, that's where things are sexy. It's like, oh my God, look at the names we have on paper and the form that these players are in. But we felt like this series could be decided by bot lane. Meiko had a great game. Gala was untouched in that game. I really did like the draft for IG in the end. It felt like they had a lot of ways to pull the trigger. But, like, in theory for that draft, we saw Rookie how impactful he was when he was able to get the jump on BLG. And there were instances in that game where BLG had a lead, but they were split up playing on IG's side of the map, and they opened up those angles for Rookie to get the jump back in. We saw angles where BLG were up in the game, but IG sacked ways to be first to objective and then set up Rookie to find the jump on a BLG. It really felt like a lot of those fights, it was IG finding the snap engages, not BLG. And for me, that's actually a concerning trend going into the series. The fact that BLG were up in this game, and then we're not able to find the right setups to, I feel like, play into IG's comp, because it gave IG the setups that they wanted, the way they wanted to play the game, and it really got punished in the end.
And it was a blue side loss, which is not how you want to start the series. I'm just going to say, when blue side has been so dominant in the statistics. And a couple key points to take away from BLG. This obviously isn't like an exact foreshadowing to how the series is going to go. BLG, our team, again, I said at the beginning, they can just decide to show up and then they become one of the best teams in the league itself. But this is not BLG, a good start for them. And a lot of the disconnection is what worries me, because when you have disconnects, that was what the problem was when Wei was in the roster. And we see Jiejie taking advantage of Beichuan multiple times in this game, number 1. You have to have stability there.
I mean, yes, I'd agree with that, but I also kind of think it's on the carries of BLG and just how BLG played out that map as a whole. I am interested to... This is one of the games where I'm kind of interested to see how the fights rolled out, but I'm almost more interested to see the minutes leading up to the fights. I feel like IG really gapped BLG in that scenario. And we probably are going to see those in the replays, but I really feel like that second or the third dragon where Meiko was there a minute 30 early, got all the wards down, and then they started the dragon at the right time, like as Bin was getting bot cryo, right? So they were able to like find the map. Like that's when they have to start it before the map state gets bad. They escape from the fight where BLG was stronger. BLG overchased like into an inner that they had already taken. And then IG were able to turn it on mid. I feel like that was really telling. And oh boy, Rookie.
Oh my.
All right, we're gapping Knight a little bit there, my friend.
Hey, it's starting to make a little bit of a dent into that head-to-head record we were talking about. Try to stop that new guard syndrome coming through from Knight, but it's so pivotal. You see so many times these two guys just butting heads in these games, in this game particularly, in a lot of these fights, and those instant lockdowns from Rookie, even if he was giving his life away, takes away such a crucial weapon for BLG in the way that the Ari, but let alone Knight, was trying to dictate those fights.
Yeah, this, like, BLG being here, the minimap, On was channeling base. They had two people at bot inner.
Yeah.
That, for me, is a really, really poor setup. And even the fight leading up to this, the fact that IG escaped with all their ults up, we're still able to pull that play off. This was awesome from Meiko. They stopped the Keeper's Verdict from Beichuan. That ult was fantastic from TheShy. It was a really tough fight for BLG where Elk has trouble to play it out. Like these are all kind of off of better setups we saw from IG. And for me, like, IG was a team that, like, throughout the regular season, at times we're like, all right, IG, like, please bring it, like, put it together. Like, we know you're better than this, right? It was the same thing for BLG too, but for IG, like, these were the moments where I feel like we really didn't see them be disciplined. So to see this in game one, I think if you're an IG fan, one of the best signs you can see coming into the series, because in every fight you see on your screen, yes, IG by this point we're up, but they're the ones that are in control. They're the ones that are dictating these snap engages through how they played the map, the vision they had, really catching BLG off guard. That's a really bad sign for BLG at the end of the day.
Oh, the tip of the equalizer on Elk. I actually didn't see that in the fight.
The
This
Shy,
was nuts, though.
he's a damn good Rumble, man.
Yeah,
this was,
he is.
again, the best 05 Rumble I've seen in a long time. Of course, it
was.
comes from the Shy, the top point specialist.
Of course it does.
You know, I feel like Meiko's quote of, like, when I thought I could just quit, I didn't. I feel like that's just how TheShy plays every game of League of Legends, you know? It's like, I could quit pushing this lane, but why would I when I can maybe pull an outplay?
This one was personal. You know? I'm just going to say that right now. The Rookie just excavating Knight out of the middle
Knight's
of his
down
entire
3
team.
levels. I really am curious to take inventory to how that happened, because like, for me, BLG, I think they really can play out 3 lanes with the Yorick and the Ahri, even into the Annie. But when you get as far behind as they did, like, you're down 3 levels, and you can't play out anything.
God, the charm onto the chicken feels so bad.
I mean,
Even the
I
jungle was at IG's backs there. But
I think
man,
the Shy flashing in and melting everyone's what feels worse, Mazel. But, you know, that's
true,
just me.
True.
Yeah,
that's just you.
me.
Yeah. Also, again, we have to think about what these kinds of drafts means for the later parts of this series in particular, because there's a lot of big comfort picks taken off the table from both sides.
Yeah, I think Bin York for me is the biggest one. Of course, Beichuan, of course, his Poppy's good. It's went from 5-0 to 5-1 after this game.
But stealing away from Jiejie too.
Yeah. Also, if Gwen's gonna appear later out of the series, I do think that after some of the changes to Gwen, like, Jax and Renekton are both playable. Knowing TheShy, he'll love to play that Renekton matchup. So I think there are still options in the Gwen later on, but of course Rumble Gwen was a big handshake that's now off the table. And Poppy being off the table, I think that Xin Zhao, if you're going to keep on banning Trundle, Xin really goes up in priority. So, yeah, definitely curious to see how some of these champs play out. Of course, Vi did see some nerfs on this patch coming in, so I know we have still seen really high Vi priority, but...
do we just want to see Beichuan on either Vi, Xin Zhao, or Sejuani? Is that just what we're going with now?
Yeah, I mean, he's on dog duty, man. That's what you do in BLG. Skarner, throw Skarner in the pool of himself. That's a big one. Forgot about that.
Saved it from game number 1. We'll see who gets MVP. I think it's got to be Rookie. I know TheShy had an incredible one, but this guy is who set the pace of this game. He's constantly finding big catchouts, constantly finding hundreds of zeros, and even in that play in mid lane, gets ganked by a 3-man, comes away with 2 kills, even given his life.
I like his rune setup. He had Relentless Hunter.
He did.
And Triple Tonic. I'm not exactly sure what's standard on Annie right now, but the Relentless Hunter, getting that bonus move speed out of combat, might have helped him set up some of those angles. I quite like it from Rookie. It was a damn good game 1.
Hey, I'm not going to get too excited right now. I'm a fan of both these two teams, but there are so many times in the history that I've rooted for Rookie to make it to an international.
IG looked good.
And he's looking good to start this one off here. We'll see if BLG can bounce back. Before we do go to that break, we are going to say a huge, huge shout out to all of our coffee and YouTube subscribers, because you guys help level up the show on a daily basis. All the package that we got this second split as well, the upgrades we've gotten to the broadcast package, but also paying all of our wonderful talent and behind the scenes talent as well, and trying to give this volunteer setup a little bit more oomph to it. It pays everything across the board, and you also get wonderful benefits for being subscribed there. So please go subscribe to our coffee, linked in the chat. Only a couple days left in split number 2. You can unlock some early access, and we're going to have some fun content coming down the line. You want to be in that chat. You absolutely need to be there, especially if you're a fan of MSI. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to be going to a game number 2, and we'll see you there.